able to rest tonight. Push it down and then I just go this way. Opa! Something else to watch out for, make sure you don't go too thin, because it means it's a double job. I have to now edge it bigger. Your guide is your spade. From that edge to that edge is 28 centimeters, which is 11 inches or so. I need to go 10 inches, but 11 inches is better because I can position the bag inside. So if I gone off a little bit and not made the trench too straight, I can still straighten with the bag, you know, make the bag straighter. And that's why having 2 fingers on each side is not a bad idea. Hence the bag will be 10-inch once stomped, so I should go 30 centimeters for the trench. So I should go for the trench the same size as the bag when it's flat. So measure the length of your shovel or spade and use that as a guide. Yes, we did the lines correctly, but when digging you can still make a little mistake like I did. And you can see this line is going skew. It's coming in a little bit. So I would actually recommend not to take your guide off, especially for straight lines, until you've finished the one line at least. Because the string does not lie. Lime, the white powder, can go left and right, but the string goes straight. Yeah? So keep your string there until you've done one line. The second line you can always gauge like I showed you with a spade. But if you've taken the line off, then suddenly you can go tipsy-turvy left and right. But this can also be cleaned up right at the end. So the first thing we do is we remove the topsoil, and I use a different pile, and I would recommend putting it in the center. Tell you why. Because when you're digging this pile, you want to put sand there. When you're digging a pile on the opposite side, you want to put sand there. So they don't mix like they're doing now. One is in the center. But we're also going to think of all of that through, because we don't want to be moving soil to do any other steps of the house build. But you know, throwing it any further than that is really difficult. Now I'm lucky to have the sandy soil, but if you have clay, you have to work with a pick. But be careful not overdo it, because as you get closer to the level that you're going to be laying your first bag, you don't want to be ruffling that undisturbed soil to the point where it's now disturbed. So this spade is amazing, much easier, because I don't have to bend all the way down, and I can use my force here. Just scraping 1 centimeter at a time. Yeah, this is much easier for my back. I'll show you a little trick later how to make it level, but make sure that your trenches are not different heights. But if it's not level, how do you make these two trenches level? We'll use a water spirit level. And this is the shaving part. I need to make this trench a little bit bigger. So the one thing I can do, come in a little bit like this, just at an angle. Don't overdo it. So when you're getting close to the other height of the trench, rather stop, and we need to get the water level thing in here, or long spirit level, but with a long straight stick. But this is quite long because we need to put one leg into that trench and one leg into this trench. So when the two legs are at the same height, the spirit bubble will be in the center. But if it's too far distance apart, we'll use a water bubble. I'll get you the name of it in English. If your site is absolutely level, you can take a piece of lime, step in a trench and mark the height. If your site is level, and then you can say, okay, I still got a little to go. Mosquitoes are telling me it's time to go home. Look at that. Tsetse flies during the day and mosquitoes as soon as the evening hits. I think my main problem is that I've been making the foundation lower and lower, and I still haven't got the water level. But I'll show you that next time. Here, just when you get to the bottom, because when a spade is full, it just goes deeper and deeper. So you get a skew foundation, and the whole thing gets deeper. And I'll show you how I resolved it. When you get right to the bottom, you can scratch and move forward. Scratch and move forward. And then you take the whole pile out. But you're gonna figure out some of your own tricks as you go along. Why don't we go now?
Ja, nou is het als weer.
So we're just making the line sharper.
Like open. Yeah, but we can get into that. let's deal with the more practical thing right now. Okay, so
Starting from the top and just cleaning up the line.
Mm-hmm.
I drew the spiral, but when the digging, it's a little bit goes out, so I'm coming back and cleaning up the edges to how I drew the spiral. Oh,
Good. Start.
thank you. Yeah, starting to come along.
I say, considering that we started this morning with a flat piece of dirt and it was raining most of the day, I'd say we did pretty well.
So what he's doing now, I've shaved the spiral and he's coming after me with this tool, with the wide hoe. It's quite interesting. And he's cleaning up what I shaved. So they don't use a flat spade here. Everything done with hoes. And then he uses the same tool to take it out. I can't shave it.
Nossa senhora.
It's impossible. So I'm starting to understand why they use the hoe. Because with a hoe you can shave a little bit at a time. And then you take out. And based on your strength, you can take a wider hoe. Yeah? Or for different purpose. Look at that. Look at that. It comes out just nice. So there is a reason why there's different tools to do one job, but in different parts of the world. Because they're all adapted to their soil conditions, ingenuity factor, and temperature. You can shovel with spade here all day long in this heat, but this is nice. You just work so easy. And the angle is quite interesting because should have been like this angle, I would have had to do that, but it's just designed for actually scraping in foundation trenches. So in Brazil they loosen up the ground like this. Because it's hard clay. And this tool is quite heavy. Full steel metal with a metal plate.
I like this guy, you know. Na verdade tem quarto, quer dizer, é para casal.
We're using against the clay here.
I do like this. I just, use here like support, and then I burn. You see here, it's this, and they stop there, and then I can bend this way.
But better way is to use the tool if the tool has a long handle. If it has a long handle.
Yeah, if the two works, I can put here one, another there, and I can do that same. If that works, we have two, one side and another side, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
But I think we'll...
So we're trying to make a handle from rebar. So we're just making a handle to have bigger leverage. Give me a lever and I can lift the world. This is, tell them it's a tool from Russia. Yeah, once. Huh?
This is strong, you know, it's... You see how they turn?
Yeah. Hmm?
Let's go. Ah, aprendeu, hein?
So the reason that happened, I got my geometry a bit wrong. Because it was so clay, I couldn't draw properly. I couldn't see it. It was wet. So we basically redrew it. And when the drone went up in the air, I saw that it was a bit come see, come sa. So I just made a better edge. Solution, dry, surface, measure, mark, and only then dig. We didn't have the luxury of time. The laborers were the same day as we were marking. So when they started digging, they kind of covered the line. You saw it from the first day. You mean, can I put my feet? Can I stand on it?
Esse é o apertado. Eu vou pisar aqui só para dar dá uma torcida. Tá bom, para. No, I will do it by myself, you see.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I will lift it like this. Wait, please.
385 is here. We have
We'll have to double check this, obviously, when the cement goes in, so it doesn't move the pipe. We're putting sleeves in the foundation. We're going to pack them with cement bags, and they're going to go in. We need to mark exactly on the drawing where they are, which we have. The grey water out and the water in, and the electrical in. So entrance to the shower is going to be here. Yeah, this is the entrance to the dome. We can enter the shower here. The wall goes up, 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 up. And I stand here behind and I have a shower. I hope so. So the water is going to go out.
Ele e o Cauãzinho que andava com ele, pequenininho, é irmão dele. O Cauã é irmão dele. O Cauãzinho falava que era meu filho, pô, pode ir chamar de banho dele. Tem muita cachaça aí, chegava nos palcos, cara, ele é o que, seu filho? Meu filho. Ele ele é pai. Ele já era doidão, só que ele queria ver os caras que ele quer
So that's how the sleeve will look to take water out. And I'm gonna fill it with newspaper or paper from cement bags. Then there's gonna go another one there. And then it's gonna go another one there and enter the wetland. And then the reason for the wire is that you can always pull it out. I probably made it a bit too short, but with pliers you can pull it out. And keep it on the inside because you don't want that to be embedded in the concrete. So this is what happens when we don't get concrete here or the materials in the dry season. The road is so mush that the truck dropped off the gravel half a kilometer away and we are bringing it by car, which is taking us, probably going to take us 4 hours.
Сейчас таких живут, сюда пускают.
Опа-на.
Ничего, давай.
Ну ладно.
Подтолкнула.
So sleeves are getting buried in the cement and we're gonna mark the earth right now with the metal so we know that that's where our pipes are, that's where we need to dig down.
Vê onde ele tá vendo? Bota a madeira. Passa por ali e derruba. Opa!
But I don't think here they should put more, where, you know what I mean, because we're still
No,
going to
not here. Just close.
You know what I think? I think we should bring some stones and just keep it separate from in the middle.
Where we took the stones
The ones that are on the road.
in the road. Look, it's not okay like that.
If it's in the middle,
When I put here, they will stay. That's why I curve more now, to be in the right place. You see? Not good enough.
it's like it just needs to stay in the middle.
Yeah. We leave they dry a little bit,
I think we need to put some stones.
Agarrado, é seco.
It's enough there. It's enough.
Não.
Here.
Aqui, pra cá.
supposed to.
You know, they can go deeper. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can work.
But this we need to bend down, hey?
Yeah. I need to.
So let me stand there. Let's
But,
put.
yeah, but first I will leave dry.
Because I don't think we should wait for it to dry. Because if we wait for it to dry,
No, but
and then we move it afterwards.
Here is the right level. You know, here is the. But here, you know, is a little bit high. Here is the level we want, and I will put down.
Okay. Because I just think if it's drying, we shouldn't move it because the cement is taking chemical reaction. But this we need to bend down, hey?
Yeah. I need to.
So let me stand there. Let's
But,
put.
yeah, but first I will leave dry.
Because I don't think we should wait for it to dry. Because if we wait for it to dry,
No, but
and then we move it afterwards.
Here is the right level. You know, here is the. But here, you know, is a little bit high. Here is the level we want, and I will put down.
Okay. Because I just think if it's drying, we shouldn't move it because the cement is taking chemical reaction.
Yeah, but you know, when they dry, then I put the tool here and go down there, you know.
Just working.
Yeah, step.
Mm-hmm. So the reason we're doing that now because we don't want to move it later. And now it's sinking. So I think I'm gonna go get another rock for where you're standing,
Okay.
a big rock.
Yes, thank you. Well, try.
Then you could analyze and see where else did that thing happen to you in your life.
So maybe in the childhood your father was bossy, or did like you said I was bossy. Like you told me I was bossy. So,
And we got a pillar for our two arches that come down. Ronaldo said we could do it by hand, but this saved us time. It's a little extra you pay. The reason that we wanted it fast is because our footing and the square that we've been making up. So yeah, we're going to be all joining it. Probably take these rebars and bend them out and match them to this guy's. So lock it all together. Yeah, these are going to be up and these are going to be up as well. So that's all coming here. Okay, so we're wiring up the column. Ronaldo, you don't want to bend these things outwards and we join them 90 degrees? Please, let's do it, I'll help you.
Okay.
What we're going to do is, so is it tied off? No. As soon as it's tied off, it's tied off. Okay, so now see, it's just slightly out of whack, but if you just push it this way, just a little bit, there. Maybe a little less.
That's it.
Yeah, wait. Can we be the same, you know, because they are all.
Yeah.
Okay, look there.
Perfect.
Look here. It's easy, you know. Perfect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, congratulations.
Hey, getting lots of physical work, but feeling excited because I'm not doing this alone. Hard work is actually not a problem as long as there's a good team spirit. The guys are helping us a lot. They've been, obviously they have much more muscle than us city boys. Good cohesive symbiotic relationship. For now we've been bending rebar, we've been connecting it together, been chatting. It's just been a fun day. Although it's a really physical work with pushing out a whole I mean, you can see the wheelbarrows are just coming.
Cold joint is where the concrete doesn't bond because you got 2 layers of concrete poured at different times. And it will naturally form a cold joint. And if the concrete that you're pouring is like 5 centimeters thick or more, 10 centimeters preferably, that's not much of a problem because the concrete will still have structural integrity. If you pour a thin layer of concrete, you're not going to get structural integrity.
The same don't have.
We got air in the line. I got an air bubble right here.
So get yours.
Yeah, we gotta flush it out a little more to get the air out because the air is going to screw up the level.
Coconuts for us to clean our stomachs.
Okay, let's go.
First week. Then I find the level. And then with the water barnyard level, I'll test that end against that end and get them the same. Another way is to go down, especially if you're standing on that side, and to look. But actually you can't see jack shit now. But the levels can be seen when you go to the ground level. I can see that that's lower than that. Yeah? About that much. So go right to the ground level and then you'll be able to see the levels. And obviously all the soil that I'm piling up, there's another thing I'm realizing, that the soil that I'm taking out of the foundations is the soil that's going to go back into the foundations mixed with 10% cement. I don't want to be moving it too far away. First I wasn't dumping any here, but now I just realized that I'll use that soil straight into the tires without cement. You go put straight in. Now that I've got this foundation scratched to the best of my eyes ability of what's level, let's really check if there are levels. So there's a simple tool they sell pretty much everywhere in the world. If they don't have that, I connected to a stick, then you could make it up. Basically it's I think it's called the banyan level, but it's a water level. Water finds level. Let's fill this up. Okay, I think I'm gonna straighten it out. Even if you are just using a pipe, make sure when you stick it onto your stick, the sticks must be equal in height, the markings must be equal in height. You basically get the same as here. So these markings are, they show the height difference between the 2 points. Make sure you don't have any kinks. Okay, I'm gonna follow instructions now. I'm gonna stand right up
and I've sent that pipe right down. It's 75 feet, and that's why I'm struggling so much. It's probably too long. I should have got 30 feet shorter. Takes a little time. Level there. You do have to have the markings. You can have the markings on the wood as long as they're same height. Maybe if you're even doing it alone, a stick on a footing, but I'm using tires to lock them in. So when you're carrying, you know, don't take, because obviously this will pour out now. You know, water's trying to find level. Yeah? So let's check it out. Fine sand. So what we have here is plus 3.5 centimeters. So that means that one is minus 3.5 centimeters. So that means that that side will have to be shaved down by 3.5 centimeters. So I needed to find 0. It's obviously taking its time. Just really want to show this to you. That's my entire hand underneath the stick. And 7 centimeters. Look at that. It's quite a bit. It needs to be shaved down 7 centimeters. 3.5 and 0 here means that needs to be that much higher. I can't make this high because I already disturbed this earth. I can't pile earth on top unless I get a machine compactor. The only thing I can do is shave. That's why I told you, be careful not to overdo it, because you can't add, you can only subtract. So there it is, it's in the center. Yeah, let's put it 3.5 down. I think I need to get this entire pipe in this trench. That's 0. So let's just check if I go up 2 centimeters. Yeah, these lines are 2 centimeters, just so you know. So if I go up, match 2 and a 4. Yeah, that goes 1, that goes -1. And so if the difference is 4 centimeters in height, then it's -2 and +2. Yeah. So now I know that whatever the difference is, I need to times it by 2. That's going to be my height. So I go to the other end. That's it, 2.5 centimeters has gone up now, you can see. So I need to take away 2.5 times 2. I shave down 2 and then I check 1 in the center. That's my lowest point. This point needs to be higher. Means that's my lowest point, so this needs to come up, therefore that needs to come down. When that comes down, the water level will go up. Let's give it a try. Minus 0.3. So do not be pedantic. This is more or less, this is good enough. Okay, this is good enough, because when you pound the tires, they're gonna swell up. When you put the bags in, you still have the, you know, they go up and down. Don't be frantic. We just don't want to be 2 inches out. But if we are 5 millimeters out, it is excellent. I think if you're anywhere under 5 millimeters, 1/5 of an inch, you're perfect. You're perfect. Don't stress. Even maybe a centimeter play. This is good. This is good. Yeah, this is good enough. It's within 0.5. Gloves from one of our subscribers and my friend Daryl from America. Still going strong. So now I need to take this height gently up towards that, because that's level. The reason that I scratch, it really helps me to see the raw earth, or sand or clay, and then I can see the bumps up and down. The reason that I say it needs to take up is because from this level it needs to be the same as that level. It is the same level as that level. So all of this has got to go down. That's why I'm saying I need to shave slightly up. Or I need to shave down if I go this way. So that's my good level. Shaving down is actually the way to go. Much easier. Find the level that we're gonna pick up, that's the lowest point, and we shave the higher bumps. An alternative way, for example, a foundation that's closed loop, that's like capped at the ends. Like this is not capped, the water will just leak out. I can pour some water. Water finds level, as you know, and all the humps will stick out and the troughs will be in the water. And then we just shave the humps down to the level of the water. That might be also easier for you, especially if you have hard clay. I don't want to keep this in the sun because of being clear. Within a few short days it will go green, and obviously a pipe of 75 feet this thin in diameter will be impossible to clean. So I'm going to wrap it up, keep it in the shade. They actually say that they provide you a little hanging piece that you just hang them in your garage, away from heat and away from the sun. This is level. The tires will balance it all out, and plus we're going to be checking the tires as they're level, yeah, with the spirit level. So don't go too frantic. Sandbags as well, you can fill them up fatter and then they go higher, or you can go fill them up a little bit, only a little bit, and then they can flatten out to instead of 4 inches to 2 inches. So you can also play, but a good level foundation on undisturbed earth is a good base for the house. Put this nice and high. Remember, lots of bubbles I had in the pipe. I take this to a lowest point. Now the problem I had previously, I had a small bottle, pouring a little bit, stopping, a whole train of bubbles getting in, then pouring some more. No, you got to have a continuous pour. Okay, to trick the system, I'm making a siphon, so you can see it's sucking, and as it is sucking, it's obviously kicking all the bubbles down because that pipe is right down. And then I obviously take some out or add some in to get to my zero. So plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches or centimeters. If centimeters, I'd say plus 20 at least, because as you walk, you know, you need to be able to have that extra so it doesn't pour out. So 8 inches or so plus and 8 inches down, just for the fun of it. Let's check my long foundation. Now you're probably wondering, Alosha, why the hell did you get such a long pipe? Well, I got the long pipe to measure the foundation from one corner to the next. And in my case it's 17 meters, so the pipe of 25 meters is not so huge. So make sure you don't have bubbles. Bubbles make it a problem to measure levels. Hey, it's on 0! This is 4 centimeters too low. So that's 4 centimeters too high. So I've got to take my lowest point. This is my lowest point right now that I found. Just from that corner to that side, I'm 8 centimeters too high there. So that's 8 centimeters too low. If you look at the bottom, I can put my foot down, yeah? Right underneath there. And now it's on 0. So I'm 8 centimeters. So that needs to come up by 8 centimeters. Now obviously I can't bring it up, and that's why I took the step. So my step was correct. I thought right. Look at that. At the step, that's the 0 mark. I'm on +1. So that's too low. That as my lowest point. I don't have anywhere else as +4, meaning 8 centimeter difference. I don't have anywhere else such a difference. So this is my lowest point. I need to take that level, carry it on until I can step up at least one bag. Then I stop that, do that bag at that level, at this level. Then I step it up like I do here. So I don't need to shave all of that. When I measure then this level, I need to measure off this level other things that are at the same level. I can't measure it at this level and that level. So overall, my corner to corner is correct. But everything in between needs to be double checked correctly. Like here, I took the step right. I made a step because I knew that I made a bit of a mess up here going too low. So I stepped up here almost to the right height by one bag. So I'm going to leave that because I don't want to dig that further. But this level, I'm going to make that level everywhere until a step. So I realized I made a cock up, so I made a step. Yeah, there she is. So obviously it's not so clean, but I'll clean it up before I start building the bags. But there is the step. Yeah, there's got to be one level. Here I realized that, you know what, I actually did go too deep for this whole tunnel foundation. I made another step. So that is got to be all level in relation to itself, which is up until here, because then I step down. From there where I step down to here when I step down, that's got to be all one level. So I'll use the stick water level to measure it. That's where the stick is, where I step down, is all got to be the same level until, you know, one level, until I step up, like I've done here. Here, this step up is got to be the same level all the way with this tunnel. And my steps need to be exactly one bag high, which I know, and you can see from this drawing, this beautiful man, he's made an amazing test to show you what bags go in height when they're stomped. So that's more or less is about 4 inches. I hope you got this lesson. Basically going to be using my levels to shave, step up. When I step up by the bag height in the stomped version. Generally I'm using a 12-inch bag flattened, which when stomped it is 10 inches by 4 inches. You can see on the screen this drawing, the test that was made. Basically what this means is once I come up, because I've stepped up by exactly more or less the bag. Now sounds strange, exactly more or less, but you know what I'm saying. When I come out of the ground, the bags will be more or less at the level. Then we'll use the final wood or cement slab to get that level so the two tunnels are exactly balanced. So the geodesic dome is standing on a straight footing because the bags can do their wonky thing. That's my geodesic dome, that's my room, the earthship room. Then this glass facade, that's what I meant, that's gonna stand on a straight footing. Very, very important. Yes, I'm gonna have two bags going down, so this little trench will be even so deep as that trench, because really just for a little glass door, it's not load bearing. I'm just gonna have two bags down and little footing that I was telling you about, made of cement to make it level. And then my floor will go, you know, the door frame will go to that, the piece of wood, or however we make the glass facade, probably wood, that will go to that cement little slab that will rest on the bags. And the cement slab makes it absolutely level. And we got it in our dome course, and when we do it in the Watzilarium course, of course we're going to cover that as well. So that's how we get this whole thing level, and that's my next step. Level it all up, get the bags. Yeah, I really need a cement mixer because mixing all of this by hand is not funny.
So the thickness of the tires should be the same throughout the course. Ultimately, you want to start with a level foundation. But if your house is on a slope, then you'll have a step up. And a step is the same height as the bag, or 2 bags, or a course of tires. Then you step up, or 2 courses of tires, yeah? So you can step up as long as your foundation is on hard, undisturbed earth. As I build my bags, I'm already thinking where to put pipes. Course 1, that's where you put the pipes, or at least the fittings that can, because it's much easier when you build the bags to, for example, a 2-inch pipe, you just plop, go over it. If you haven't done it and you need a 2-inch pipe, you have to take a hammer and bash a steel rod right through, or drill, and it's just a big mess. It takes a lot of time, sometimes an hour to make a hole. So it takes 1 minute, 2 minutes to make a hole over a pipe. To put a 4-inch pipe for the sewage, it's also very easy. So these are the kinds of things I'm already need to start thinking, because that's the sauna, but we're gonna have a shower here. So the water, the gray water, can go, for example, straight here, for example, take a path and be treated, and then maybe do a loop and back, and then here I can have my pump to take water to flush the toilet, and the toilet is there. So I need to be thinking, where does the water pipes go to reach to my toilet? Yeah, if you've gone too deep, then step up to undisturbed soil and carry on. And I stepped up 2 bags high. Again, there is a step. So if you overdone it, no worries, there is another step. So this whole tunnel I've overdone by 1 extra bag too much. I guess I was excited. Yeah? The plastic goes just on the first course, and that's to stop the siphoning effect from of the water going up the walls. Thereafter, we're just going to use a piece of cardboard for the sand or the soil not to escape the tire. We do the same with sandbags when we wrap them in plastic, the first 2 courses and then the 3rd course. There are many ways that you can pound the tire, but you need to get it extremely pounded. My friend Daryl's got a contraption made. I'll ask him to share us with a video of how it makes his life easier with getting the tires pounded. So just like with Super Adobe, you're hearing for that thud. So first it's like, listen to this. Oh, that's compressed. Cal Earth, when we do the bags, we listen out for the same sound. Another thing to watch out for is I'm gonna go get my spirit level. You want to keep these guys level, because the more you pound, the more the tire swells up. You know, here you can see that that's higher, that's lower. So I need to pound this until this is level. You know, I'm just doing an eyeball test. It's so compressed that it bulges out and it just can't sag, because the entire wall is going to stand on top of this, and then the ferrocement roof, and then the burial. This whole house is going to be buried. So what you put in is what you get out, as anything else in life. But here it matters most. Just wanted to give you a little update. If you're not living in close to a big town, finding good tires can be a challenge, especially in third world countries where they're using tires for everything, from slops in Africa to garden beds in Russia, and now with new recycling schemes, in some places tires are hard to come by, like in my case. So I've got 225 millimeters width, and then it's 16 inches. That's a really nice tire, because the bigger it is, the quicker you go. That's all the 225s that I could get. This is a 235, and that's a 245 thickness, meaning it's 20 millimeters wider than these tires. So what I've done is, oh, there's a butterfly. So what I've done is I shaved a bit here, just 1 centimeter-ish, and you know, to accommodate, so now they become the same height. Yeah. Another challenge I've had is this tire, I pounded too much, way too much. So with my level, I had to get all these tires to match it. So the key here is, with the spirit level, you need to test every tire as you go. Like, this is now level. You know, here you test as well. You know, crisscross. Make sure you shave this topsoil off, so you're not testing the center of the soil height, but you're testing the edges. Yeah, that's how you know you're level all over. And then the tires have quite an amazing way to expand, but because I pounded this tire and those tires already a lot, now I had to lift it to this one because I over pounded. It was really a hard challenge. So eventually I started smashing. I remember the Earthship Academy that showed us you can bash a little bit on the sides just to bring the over expanded tire slightly down, and that's how I was able to, because I wasn't able to get this one to raise to the same level as that, because I already pounded a hell of a lot. It's like a rock. Literally, I think I've got 3 wheelbarrows of earth, of sand in this thing. I have got a geothermal pipe, so I got a geothermal pipe that I can just cut pieces, maybe just 10 centimeters over here and 10 centimeters extra here. Then that means that they're there already, because putting pipe of 4 inches underneath the tire, underneath the foundation, after the foundation is done, is going to be probably 100 times longer and harder than if I just dig out a little trench here now, excavate a little bit here, a spade width by spade width, extra boom, and here as well. I stick a pipe in, and because I'm basing it on my drawings, but I'm kind of breaking ground here on very new tech, combining the geothermal with an Earthship. Same with Super Adobe. I'm going to be putting a few extra pipes at the right places, maybe 1 or 2 pipes that I'll just little, because Super Adobe is this thick. So for me to put in a foot of a pipe offcut, which I can even get for free, those type of short offcuts, that, you know, for me to put a foot in as I build is nothing, because I just stop my bag. The 4-inch pipe is the same height as the bag, and then, you know, I carry on. To do that is so simple. It takes you seconds, and then you carry on building, and then the next bag cover that pipe. So the previous bag stops here, the next bag starts here, yeah, and then the pipe just allows you to, for example, for the sewage I'm gonna have in the wetlands and so on. But also, when we forgot to put pipes and we tried to bash through super adobe, it's something else, because you need to take a hammer and this chisel thing, and you just hit it and hit it and hit it through this space you've excavated, and you try and bash it through, which is a mission. For hot climate, it could be additional air that you put at for example, this height. Yeah.
So I just want to show you the step. So I've gone down, yeah, below that other tire just a little bit, because the new tire is higher. 235. That's the thickness. 225.
There is our septic, yeah? That's going to be at the bottom. So let's say that the top of the septic is going to be a foot from where my hand is, ish. And I need to take it into the wetland, so the wetland can treat my sewage, like as per the Earthship setting. So there is my wetland. So I'm going to have a pipe going straight there. I'm going to have a little 22.5-degree turn, and I'm going to enter it into the wetland. If that's a foot below that ground level right now, the overflow of the septic into the wetland, yeah, so you know the shit doesn't go into your lounge, you need to have an overflow. So the overflow will come at a foot. Now this is about 4 meters. That means that I need to go 4 centimeters below that overflow. So now we're talking about plus minus here, yeah, if you can see my hand, foot and 2 inches down. That means on the second bag here, I need to put in a pipe for sewage to go in. So this is the kind of thinking that I'm figuring out, and that's why it's very good for me to build right now very slowly. Until this house is to this level, there is so much thinking that's gone into it. It's all your sewage has gone in, all the geothermal pipes have gone in, all the clean water pipes have been planned out and going in from the water tank into the biochar filter where it will be. All the grey water pipes have to be inlet of air, fresh air for winter. You know, by the time I get to this level, it might take me 2 months, because there's just a lot of stuff that needs to go in. This is the tech. These are the brains. This is the eco-mechanics of a Watellarium Earthship hybrid. You know what I'm thinking? I should probably cap the ends, otherwise I'm just gonna pile a lot of earth into them. I'm gonna cover them with some plastic. Yeah, some plastic bags. Cap on the ends and tie them up. Yeah, it's best that you use tires of the same height. You know, if you're in the city, you might be thinking, oh my god, tsetse flies, sweat, mosquitoes during the day, during sun time, 5 types of biting things. It's pretty hectic. It's pretty hectic. It's very hot. I'm pounding this tire already for 30 minutes. Getting it right. The flies are biting me. Yeah, you gotta really love nature life. The tire did not make it all the way to the end, and the mistake I made here is because I was using smaller tires when I was planning out the foundation trench, but when I started pounding them I started using obviously big tires. So now I'm, you know, half tire too short. So I'll be able to fix it and show you how. You know, you should use full tires. You can squish a tire, it's called a squishy in an Earthship, but yeah, it's generally you should have a whole course of tires. So my 2 pipes are here. I've decided not to mess around with my septic, and I'll put some more pipes on top. I'll have them at different levels, as this is an experimental home. Actually out of tires, as you can see, this is an inch smaller all around. I've got two sizes of this. They're all different sizes. If I could play around with various thicknesses in the foundation, because here for the thick tire I dug out extra, as you remember. For the thin tire I added some extra at the bottom. I got them all level, but now that they're all level, the tires that are going on top of this, I need 10 tires of the same width in order to stay level. It's very important, and I don't have that, so my construction stopped. Until I get more tires, I will continue with sandbags. Yoo-hoo! My first course of tires is done! Absolutely can't find the same height tires. So here, look at that. I'm using, you had to use a sports tire with a thin rim. Very thin rim. And it bumps up. You know, the relation of the rim is different to a standard tire. That's a standard tire. A racing tire is a thin rim, like that. I can't find them anywhere near my town, in my town, in a nearby town. They're all small towns, and everybody is using tires for garden beds and God knows what. And I can get a few of the small tires, but that's not what I need. I need big tires for the bottom row. Look how much smaller this tire is in comparison. So it's a joke. It's a type of tires I can use in the top rows, but definitely not in the bottom rows. I'm gonna use this huge tire, 18-inch, in here. Okay, I'm gonna drop it down so it comes down. Maybe put some tampered earth or bricks underneath it on that side, because I already dug lower for the sandbag trench. So I'm just gonna bring it down. The pipes, I would have preferred to put them in the foundation row, because I've put them underneath the tires here. You can't even see it. So that's too low. I would have preferred it to put it like here, but the tires are pounded, I can't move them. So I've put two more in these gaps. These are the challenges that we're learning, we're going to perfecting. I knew that we're going to have a challenge in this home because it's a prototype. Absolutely beautiful area, but way too many things biting us, too hot in the middle of the day. Excuse my Cipollino, just getting my hair out. Very hot, lots of biting things, biting through the there, look at him, he's biting right through the shirt. So I'm sorry for the people who feel bad about killing anything, because if you don't slap them, they just, you know, they'll eat you. So